Hey there, my name's Tom, and just earlier today, in fact, I finished my intensive course at the Ecole interculturelle de français pour étrangers in Lyon, or EIFE for short. And this video is going to be my review of the course. Let's start with the positives. So the location of the school is really good. It's right in the middle of the first arrondissement in Lyon. It's really close to the town hall. It's got a bunch of cafes and bars nearby. However, unfortunately, this is not going to be an overwhelmingly positive review for EIFE. So let me talk about the teaching first. Primarily for me, I feel like I did not learn a lot at the school, which is pretty damning really. So I did get better at French and I feel much more secure in being able to speak spontaneously. I feel much more secure in the basics, but I wasn't pushed, I wasn't challenged to do more and more grammar. So where does this come from? I think there are a couple of different things that they don't do particularly well at that school. The first thing is that there was a really varied level of skill in the class. I think they had one A1, A2 mixed level class. So there were some people who were really strong, who were very spontaneous, and they were in the same class as people who were really struggling even to pick avoir or être when you're talking in passé composé. When you have people like that in the class, it makes it very difficult for the teacher to push you forward, to keep on teaching you stuff, because there are people who can't do that. And that's a shame, because the compromise for us was to always be doing revision, always to go back to stuff that for me was quite simple, or maybe I wasn't perfect at it, but I was ready to move on and just keep learning that on the back burner sort of thing. So why do you have such varied skill level in the class? One of the big things is that when you go to EIFE, you can choose whether to do 15 hours a week, 17 hours a week, or 20 hours a week. Now, I was doing the 20 hours a week class, which meant that I went to every class every day and I did an extra hour when everybody else had gone home for the day as well. But if you're just doing the 15-hour class, then you actually, occasionally you miss a class or you have to like leave early or something like that. So every day there was a slightly different group of people in the room, which meant that they were always going to be a little bit behind, and we would always be trying to help them catch up. Now that's completely fine. If I was doing less hours per week, I would expect to make less progress. Completely legit. It's nothing, not to do with them, but they really need to start splitting people out at that school. What would have also helped would have been to have on the first day a list of here's what we were planning on learning during this month, who already knows stuff on this list. And then the teacher can then balance his lesson plan around the skills of the class. Okay, let me pause there, because this is all getting like super negative, and I don't want you to think that my time at the school was just awful and I spent the entire time bored just waiting for something interesting to happen. That is not the case. The teachers that I had 3 teachers over the course of the month. They were enthusiastic, they were interesting, they were really fun, excellent at explaining things. Any question I had was answered with a really great example, and I never felt like the teachers were the problem at all. I think it was the structure of the course that was causing me issues. So let me summarize, and I'll talk about the cost and the extracurricular stuff as well in a little bit more detail. So overall, the location, I would say 4 stars, great location, really easy to get to, really great facilities. The classrooms were nice, the classrooms were well kept, they were comfortable. Big fan of the general fit of the school, really impressed. So teaching, unfortunately, I have to give 2 stars. If you think that 3 is average, 4 is really good, 5 is exceptional, then it's got to be a 2, because an average school I would expect to make an okay amount of progress over the course of a month. And I don't feel like it hit that boundary. So moving on to extracurricular now, they did some extracurricular stuff. There was a couple of evenings where they took people to play pétanque in the park, or they took everybody for a picnic. That's fine, but again, similar to my review of my school in Paris, there was no organised, let's take everybody to the cinema, let's make sure everybody goes to the museum, let's do a walking tour. I've said this before for other schools in France, that it costs such a low amount of money to provide that extracurricular stuff. All you have to do is have an intern or somebody who works in the office to stay behind after the end of the day and take everybody to the museum. So finally, price, and they are going to score highly on this. So this is 4 stars on price, because I paid 530 euros, I think, for 1 month of classes for 20 hours a week. And actually, if I was doing it again, I wouldn't do the 20-hour course, I would do the 15-hour course, and that's only 400 euros a month. And that's actually a pretty good deal, so that is a deserved 4 stars. But this all averages out to 3 stars, which, as I said earlier, is average. And unfortunately, that's the best word to describe this school, because it is super average. It taught me some French, I got better at what I already had, but there was no exciting, redeeming feature that pushed it up to a 4 and made it really interesting, and there was nothing heinously awful about it that dropped it down to a 2. So my advice would be that if you're considering this school for your trip to Lyon, then consider it, put it into your list. But definitely go out and look at some other schools, try and look at some other reviews and see if there's perhaps something else that might suit you a bit better. So that was my review, and I hope that's helpful if you guys are thinking about maybe coming to Lyon and doing some French. If you don't know me, by the way, my name's Tom, and I'm currently traveling through France and then Germany and then the Middle East, and I'm learning languages full time. I'm going to try and learn French, German and Arabic, at least a bit of all three. So if you want to see more videos from me, then please do hit the subscribe button, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!